Good morning, eighth grade leaders. Today we are going to begin session 11 of our eighth grade advisory program. And in this lesson today, we are going to complete our 4-year plan by adding the courses that are related to our endorsement option. So what I want everyone to do is to have your student work booklet open, and I want you to go back to page 18 in your student work booklet if you need a reminder of what your endorsement and option choice was. And then after you've refreshed your memory, I want you to find session 11 in your student work booklet, and that would be on page 25. The title of this lesson is called Sample of Courses for Endorsements. And what I want you to do is listed are the different endorsements and the different options for those endorsements. Find and circle your endorsement and option choice, the one that you made on page 18, and go ahead and circle it on either page 25 or 26. So as you can see, if you chose STEM, public service, arts and humanities, and then on the back is business and industry and multidisciplinary. So find your endorsement and then circle your option, because that's kind of what you're going to be able to focus on. And then what I want you to do is take a look at the different sample of courses for the endorsements. And I want you to see kind of how these different courses are laid out, because what it does is tell you what are some example courses that you can take when the endorsement option lists that you have to take a certain required courses. So for example, if you look at public service and the CTE option 1, where you go into education and training, you see that an example CTE course that you could take is Ready, Set, Teach number 1, and then it also lists that you should take an advanced CTE course, so that would be Ready, Set, Teach number 2, where you could and that would satisfy your endorsement option. If you have any questions on what some of these courses are or how they look and how the flow of them work, then if you turn to the next page in your student work booklet, you'll see that you have the different flow charts there. And the flow charts are separated into career cluster. And the flow charts kind of allow you to see which electives are available within each career cluster and seeing how they flow together, to see how you must take certain classes before you move on to the next one. Or the ones that are kind of in the same row together, you can take any of those at any time. Notice that when you're looking at the flow chart in those courses, if you see any course that says 2 credits, then that means that class is 2 class periods. It's a double block course. If you see any that have 3 credits, then that means that class lasts for 3 class periods. If you choose a semester course that says that it's just a half a credit, remember you must choose another semester course to go with it in the box. And then what we're going to do is kind of take a look at some examples of what a completed 4-year plan would look like for each of the endorsements. And so you can kind of see what some of these examples are. So let's move on to the first example. The first example is going to be for STEM. And this particular student chose the CTE option. So as you can see, this student has their 4 English, their 4 math, their 4 science, and then they actually chose 4 social studies classes. You take a look at that. Or I'm sorry, they only chose 3. They actually chose to do world geography their 9th grade year, and then they did not take any social studies their 10th grade year, but you still have the history and then government and economics. So what I want you to recognize is that take a look at how the courses in red satisfy the endorsement option requirements for this particular option. This student has earned 4 credits before his senior year, but none qualified as the advanced CTE course needed for the endorsement. So that's why they are taking advanced engineering design. Also, notice how the student elected to take a science and a math course that were related to his career endorsement area. So notice how they took engineering design that relates to that option, and also pre-cal that can relate to that STEM option. And then you see the three required social studies credits. So they took another elective instead of taking world history during their sophomore year. So this is what a completed four-year plan would look like for the CTE option of STEM. The next example I want you to look at is for business and industry. And this again is for the CTE option. And this particular student is concentrating on ag, food, and natural resource classes. So you can see that this particular student had room in his schedule senior year after meeting all of the endorsement requirements. So he chose to take additional electives from his career cluster. Notice how he took practicum in ag. And usually a practicum class means that you kind of go, that's kind of on the job training where you actually get to work in that field. Now, the student didn't necessarily have to take an ag course after they met all their requirements. He could have taken anything that he wanted to take, but that's just what he chose. And take a look at his science courses. Look at that for science. Look at how advanced animal science could count as that person's fourth science credit, and it counts as part of this endorsement. So, you know, sometimes taking a specific class can count as two different things, and that's okay. The same thing with floral design. Taking floral design can count as their fine arts credit and as part of one of the endorsement credits. The next example is public service. And this student chose the CTE option for education and training. And notice that only 2 endorsement courses are necessary for this particular option because there are 2 periods, 2 credits each, so it meets the requirements for option 1. And if you take a look at this student's schedule, you can see that this student is involved in band as well. And because of this, this student has earned several endorsements. This student qualifies to earn the public service endorsement, and because of the 4 credits in band, qualifies for the arts and humanities endorsement. And because they took 4 credits, did the 4x4 and took 4 credits in English, math, science, and social studies, that person also qualified for the 4x4 option of multidisciplinary studies. So this person has earned 3 endorsements. And also note that since the student is in band for at least 2 years, that they have met their PE requirement for graduation. And like I said before in our last session, the same would apply for 2 years of drill team. The next endorsement option would be arts and humanities, and this particular student chose the social studies option. And again, remember in order to earn the social studies option for arts and humanities, you just have to take 5 social studies courses, and those are kind of listed there in red. And then you have the 2 additional courses that they could take to satisfy their endorsement credit. And again, this student has earned 2 multiple endorsements. They've earned the arts and humanities endorsement because they have 5 or more credits in social studies. And then they've also earned multidisciplinary studies by earning the 4x4 option and also the AP option. And notice how in freshman year, this student chose to take human geography AP. I will let you know for those students who are interested in taking AP courses, remember how I told you that mostly those are only offered for juniors and seniors? Well, if you're interested and up for the challenge in taking an AP course as a freshman, you can take AP Human Geography, and that can be substituted for World Geography L or K. So it is the equivalent of World Geography, but it is a much harder course and is much more challenging. But if you're up for the challenge, then you're more than welcome to take that course, and you can take it at any time during high school, and especially as a freshman. The last endorsement example that I want to cover is multidisciplinary studies. And this student is under option 1, the 4x4. So you can see here, if you take a look at all of the courses that are in red, and then notice that this student again has multiple endorsements. They've earned the 4x4 by taking 4 English, 4 math, 4 science, 4 social studies. And they've even earned the arts and humanities endorsement because they have 2 years of 2 different fine arts credits. They have 2 years of theater arts as well as 2 years of art. And then they also have earned the business and industry endorsement, option 1, by being able to take fashion design, advanced fashion design, and animation. And you can also see how this student completed their foreign language requirement in middle school. So that opened up a lot more opportunities for them to take other classes that they might have been interested in. So students, now it is your turn. What I want you to do is use the samples of courses for endorsement to help you complete your 4-year plan. So you have lots of different resources for you be able to do this. You have the different examples that we just went over, and your teacher has copies of these examples available for you in the classroom so you can look at them. Take a look at page 25 and 26 in your student booklet to take a look at some of the sample courses that are available for each endorsement. And then you can use the flow charts that are in the back of your work booklet to help you put the electives in the correct order or to choose additional courses. And after you add the required endorsement courses, go ahead and you can add in any additional electives that you would like to take if you have room. So if you're interested in trying out something else, then go ahead. If you want to try out an art class or something because you think it might be fun, then go ahead and take that course. You're more than welcome to do that. You don't have to stick within your career cluster if you've already satisfied all the other required courses that you need. So teachers, if you could take a moment to monitor and assist students in this process as they are completing their 4-year plan. And students, it is okay for you to use abbreviations as long as you know what you're trying to say, because you're the ones that are going to have to enter this information into the computer. So make sure that you are able to read and remember what the course is that you chose. So at this time, go ahead and take the time to complete your 4-year plan worksheet and use the resources in your booklet that you have available to you. And remember to check your work. Make sure you've included all of your foundation requirements, your endorsement requirements. Make sure you have your course levels if you're going to be doing on level, K level, AP, dual credit, and make sure you have at least 7 credits for each year. Congratulations, 8th graders. You have officially completed your 4-year plan, or the draft of your 4-year plan. We will continue on with our last and final session, which will be when we go to the computer lab to enter this information into the computer. But don't worry, we will still have time to answer questions and make sure that everything is correct before we do that. So we'll take care of that after Thanksgiving break. Thank you, everyone, and study hard for your finals, and I will see you around the building.